Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Life Beyond the Clouds. I am so excited to introduce Jenna Torres. She's a country music singer in Nashville. She's amazing. She's so spiritual. We were connected by Katrina, which is so amazing. And I was absolutely supposed to meet you. You are so incredibly beautiful. And your faith, once we got talking, we realized how much in common we actually have. And I really want to do this podcast. And I was so thrilled that you were able to find the time and willing to do this because your faith also has guided you. And this is what I want this to be about. Jenna, it's about so much. You and I talk about lifting people up with this, about helping people in their darkest times and knowing that there's something more. And you actually have a faith that is so strong. And I know you've had connections also with the divine. And I really want to talk about this with you and how we're really trying to help guide people. You do this with your music. Your music is so beautiful. At the end, I want to put up, your information where people can hear it and go to it because it's so healing. And your songs make me cry when I hear some of your songs. They honestly do. I'll listen to them and they just bring me back to that place inside of us that we get so caught up and so lost in this world that we are so used to comparing, right? We compare ourselves to everyone and everything and it hurts our soul. And this journey really is about lifting each other up. So this is why with you, this is really like a spiritual conversation that I've been just waiting to have you on and do this with you. So I just want you to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what you do and honestly how this has guided you your whole life and how this has gotten you through some of the hardest times in your life that you knew there was something more.
This is a conversation that I'm excited to have. I'm thrilled to be here with you, Renee. I feel absolutely that we were meant to be together, that I was meant to get to know you, and you've brought so much kind of love and light into my life. And so I have immense gratitude for you. And I not only do I want to honor that by being here with you and telling people how wonderful you are, but also by kind of sharing, my connection to spirit and how important it is to me. I think it's a subject that I tend not to discuss all that openly because I think I've had this since I was very young. And I was afraid when I was young that, people would think, oh, she's crazy or this sort of thing.
Yes.
And it creates a kind of secrecy almost around your inner life and your other life. But I think the reality is that everyone has this connection and that some of us maybe are more sensitive to it than others, but we're all spiritual beings kind of walking around in these bodies having,
Absolutely.
we're all sensitive, we all feel things. And I live in the world of song and music, which is basically the world of emotion. And I've always felt that emotion for me is evidence that the spirit is moving through me. When I get chills, when I cry, when I
Yes.
feel, when emotion takes me over, I feel it means something to me. And I think I was raised and told, stop being so sensitive, stop feeling so much. It's embarrassing to us as a family. It's excessive. It's just too much. And so actually, I was going to say I did my best to hide it, but I didn't because it wasn't possible for me. I've always been a hyper emotional, sensitive person. And, music has been a refuge for me and a vehicle, a way to channel the things that come to me and through me into song and give it as best I can. And also in real life, there are things that I don't feel comfortable to say directly to people, but in song, it's kind of no holds barred. My heart is open, my mind is open, and I would say when it comes to being a songwriter, some things you dig deep to find them, and some things simply just get downloaded into you, through you, and you get kind of used as an opportunity for something greater than yourself, because I don't always feel responsible for what I'm giving. I feel like responsible to it, but I don't feel responsible for it.
I absolutely love that because that's how I tell everyone about this. When people will say things to me, I always just say, do you understand I'm the vessel? I'm just the messenger. I do not feel responsible for this. This comes from somewhere greater than me. It's just like somebody tapping on your shoulder and you turn around, right? And you want to listen or you say, somebody's telling me something. Or some people will just kind of just, kind of get on with their life and move forward. We are all intuitive. We all receive message. Not all of us will do it like this. You do it through music. We
I do.
all find that way to bring love and light. But I've always said, I don't own this. This isn't about me. I always say I'm a grain of sand on the beach. God uses all of us
All of us.
how
Yeah.
he wants to help to move us forward to help others. And that's where with you, I'm telling you from the second I saw you, as soon as I saw your face come up when we had a session, I just felt so connected. I just felt like I knew you forever. You know how you just meet people because you feel their energy and you know that it's so similar and that it's all about you and I when we have these conversations when we just talk. You know, I
That's right.
mean, on the phone when
We,
we just talk, you
it's
know, as friends, it's just always about this and it's such a loving, caring about each other. You want the other person to do well even if you're not with them, it's sending that love and that energy because people receive it. People don't understand when you send thoughts to someone, they're receiving it. They're
yes,
always receiving what your thoughts are. And when you send love and light to someone, it's very healing for them. They might have a day where they're not feeling well, but then you're thinking of them and they just get that sense of emotion like everything will be okay. And this is
yes,
what this gift is about. It's not anything scary or bad. And what people sometimes have this negative connotation. And with people like you, I really want to change this for people, right? I want them to look at this differently. You know what I mean? That we worship God, that we love God. This is all part of the divine, that we're here to try to bring our light to a place that really needs it. So
yes.
the more we just talk about this, you'd be amazed, Jenna, how many people want to talk about this, but they're afraid.
I understand their fear. I understand people's
Yeah,
reluctance. One of the things I will say about my initial meeting with you was that prior to meeting with you, I was afraid because I normally don't ask for help in life. I'm kind of a DIY person, maybe independent to a fault, and it didn't feel like it was the right thing. And but more importantly, I feel like there are people who kind of are involved in communicating spiritual stuff, and they tend to incorporate
yeah,
darker vibes, darker thoughts, and I'm not interested in that. I don't
yeah.
want that. Life is hard. Things happen. We struggle. We have to get through stuff. The amazing thing about you, Renee, is that you really carry light with you. You give only light. I feel that even when you have to deliver stuff that is difficult for people to hear, it just comes in this loving, very loving, gentle, kind, thoughtful, beautiful package. And unlike me, yeah, occasionally I feel like I'm being used for a higher purpose, or maybe always, but not
You
like
are.
you are an open channel. You probably never get to turn it off. But what I will say also is that at this stage in my life, I have this awareness that music is what I do and what I love, but I consider that every moment that I'm here is an opportunity to give and to share and to carry this light. It's not exclusive to my music. It
Yes.
is absolutely living is my mission. I have a mission driven life in that I think any opportunity, no matter where it is, in relating to and communicating with and meeting people and just everywhere you walk. Ever since I was little, I've had this feeling that everywhere you go, it's kind of like sprinkling fairy dust everywhere you go,
Yeah.
that you have an opportunity to touch people, to leave something positive, to make people feel seen, heard, loved, recognized. And it makes me emotional because I kind of feel like that's the most important thing I can do. It's not the big stuff, it's not the huge
It's
stuff,
never the big
it's not
stuff.
the spotlight. It's the moment to
God.
moment awareness that we all matter, that we should love each other, that we should care for each other, we
Yes.
should be gentle with each other, that life is challenging and difficult, that we live in a time when you never know what somebody's going through,
You,
how deeply, profoundly in pain they might be.
you ever walk by, like even
Yeah.
the other day, I was in a store and you could just feel sometimes like a heaviness of the energy when you're out with people because you just know they have so much weight. Like it's such a burden for people. They're struggling, they're scared, they're struggling. This
Yes.
future is very uncertain right now in the times we're living in. It's a very
Yes.
negative energy. But I will all the time when I see someone walk by me and they have that energy, looks very withdrawn, I will just out loud say, "Hi, how are you today?" And they'll just kind of look, right? But
Yes.
then their energy, they smile and they'll say, I'm good, thank you. And all of a sudden you see them walk a little bit faster. So because you're sending love, when I do that, I'm sending love to them. It's like I'm
That's
supposed to
great.
give someone this energy. Like I want to share my energy with people. And it can
Yes.
just be anytime you just say something nice. I always say the small things are big. It's always the little things in life. Even with the messages I receive, it's always those little ones that people say, because I always just feel like they're so big and you have to have so much gratitude. And
Yes.
when you just do something nice for someone and you just touch their arm and say, hey, it's going to be okay, or you just call someone thinking of you, it
Yeah.
changes their day, and then they change somebody else's, and then they change somebody else's. It's always this ripple effect of giving love and light. And I've always just been one that I refuse to kind of buy into the negativity. Like, even if someone does something mean, you want to give your light back to people. You want to just say, you know what I mean? I'm sorry you're going through that, but you know what I mean? You try to say something positive, and immediately you can see the emotion in someone's energy, because we're just energy. You
Yes.
cannot kill or destroy energy. Energy is forever, it's eternal. I always just say we live forever. It's like a car without gas. One doesn't run. The body needs the soul needs the body. The soul is
Yes.
eternal. So they hear us, they sense us, they feel us. They're the ones really guiding us, saying, look over here. And for me, messages are a lot about feelings, like what you were talking about. I know people like to have like symbols, which yes, they do show us. But for me, I can be cooking, and then all of a sudden I will just feel my father, right? It's because he's coming to me. And this
Yes.
is just the way it is. You will feel their energy because it's so beautiful, and it'll
Yeah.
just stop you in your tracks, and they just send you love. They just send you so much love. And this is really what this is about. And no matter what it is that you do, it doesn't have to be, it's just everyday people just smiling at someone, letting somebody in when you're driving, right? Just say, go ahead and go, instead of racing them and trying to beat them, just letting them go. And all of a sudden you'll see them smile and wave, right? And it
Yes.
changes someone's course of a day. If we all took a day and just did something nice, do you understand, for someone we didn't know, a random person, said hi, opened the door, put their groceries in the car, I don't care what it is, it changes everything. And this is what this is about, bringing our light. So we do it through different ways. Yes, you do it through your music, I do it through what I do, but I absolutely agree with you. It's the everyday thing when you're just out and about with someone. Just
Yes.
smile and say hi to someone. Look them in the eyes. We don't look at people anymore in the eyes. We look away, we look down. Look at them and smile. And they just think, oh my gosh, right? It's okay. It's just a sense of sending love. Anytime you do that, you're sending love to someone. And that's
Yes.
just with me, what I want to do with this gift. It's only just about giving love. I always just say, I pray to Jesus. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I started seeing visions when I was 9, right? It wasn't always easy. You want to be a kid. I didn't understand. I didn't have people to explain this to me. I didn't know really what to do with it, but I knew that I was supposed to help people with it.
Yeah.
So, it came to me as it was supposed to. It didn't come all at once. It came a little bit at a time to let me understand what it was. But now it's meeting people like you, that they have this light. It's like God puts us in, what I mean, our pathway. They bring people like that. So we as a whole can collectively just say, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm going to still go ahead and spread this light. And it's about you. You help other people and your friends. I know you do. I know how you are. You're such a loving light that I know you help everyone, and those kind words can last somebody their entire lifetime.
I do feel like, a seed sower. We plant seeds of love in each other. I really do think it's our job to care for, we are supposed to be our brother's keeper. We are supposed to look after one another. We are supposed to acknowledge the importance of every soul. I don't think we're supposed to judge, discriminate,
No.
eliminate. We're supposed to exhibit loving kindness whenever we can. It's a very challenging time and it's a very difficult thing to imagine. But I'm an idealist, I'm a dreamer, always have been.
Yes,
And you would think by now I'd be a jaded soul, but it doesn't seem to happen. I'm not sure why. I just
I
have
am.
this unequivocal belief and faith in mankind because I know what my heart feels like. And I know everybody has a heart, everybody cries, everybody laughs, everybody
Yes.
feels joy and pain. We're not that different from one another. That's what the human experience is for all of us. And we spend way too much time thinking about how different we are and not anywhere near enough time embracing one another and feeling like, wow, we're in this together. This is one big family, gigantic family that wraps around the whole world. And yeah, I'm excited because I know that I'm going to be singing about some of that soon because my new record, I really was, I feel very kind of blessed to have some of the songs really addressing my very idealistic view of how I think the world can come together. I realize that it's just a dream, but I'm going to be a dreamer till I leave. I don't think anything can steal it from me because if it was going to be stolen, it would be long gone.
Jenna, and it's so true. And I can't wait to hear your music. And I want to put everything up on the end, because your music is so, and it goes so to so many different genres. It doesn't matter what your age is. It's all about healing, right? I play your music for people that I know because it connects me with my dad. You have songs that just make me want to sit, and I can feel it. Like I feel it, and it makes me want to be a better person. your words make you just keep saying, oh my God, this is how we're supposed to be. This is how it really is. Because this world is almost like, it's like a fog, right? Heaven is so clear. It's like when I see visions of heaven, and this is like what your music is, it's so clear. This is almost like an imitation of what is, right? This is just a duller version of what is. It's like everything is brighter, everything is more. There's no suffering, there's no time, no jealousy, no pain, no suffering. Everything is alive. And your music connects people, and you've stayed so true to your music, and this is what I love. You've stayed so true to your soul that you just stayed on this course. You know how you just have these knowings where even though people say maybe you should do this or that, and you're just like, no, my soul already knows where it's supposed to go. You know what I mean? I've had people, a few people say to me, maybe you shouldn't talk about God so much, right? It might offend those. And I said, this is the reason I'm doing it. I will stop doing this before I ever deny where this comes from, right?
Yes,
And my faith.
absolutely.
I will not do this anymore if it came to that, because this is what I want to bring people back to. That's about love and light. I have to ask you, as we were talking, I kept writing down, is there anything with a shark tooth?
A shark tooth?
I feel like I'm seeing like a shark tooth Netflix, and I kept hearing the name Maggie.
That's my sister.
I kept hearing like Maggie May or Maggie.
Maggie is my sister. That's her
Okay,
name.
did not know that.
And I mean, I don't wear a shark tooth. I do wear this. My daughter gave me this necklace, which I guess sort of maybe is shaped a little bit like a shark. The shark.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's like I like have an arrow, and I kept hearing Maggie. So I just
That's funny. Maggie is my sister, and I was looking this morning for a necklace that she gave me to wear, and I couldn't find it. But she was definitely very much on my mind this morning.
so
And
interesting because I did say like a shark tooth necklace, and I'm hearing Maggie where it was
funny,
connected.
I was looking around. Where is it? Where is it? I want to wear it, and I couldn't find it. But she was very much on my mind. That's so funny and wonderful.
And I
Um,
just love that. Do you understand? That's the way your
yeah,
brother will know and just
yeah,
say, I was with you, and his way
yeah.
of wanting to come in and connect and just sending so much love to you. And this is what it always is. And you sense and you feel this from him always.
I
Um,
do. I absolutely do. Yeah.
and this is just, do you understand his way of bringing this forward and saying, I was with you, I was trying to help you, and I was there, because it's about the love and the light. And this is just, for me, this is what drives me, and this is what drives you. And even though we do it differently, it's still the same, right? It doesn't matter how you're doing it as long as
You do it.
you're finding a way to do it. And I just think, I wonder, how did you really get started with the music? And I don't know why your brother's almost connecting me to a song with him. Either sung one together. I don't know why I'm seeing this, or something about a song that you have for him or wrote for him. But how did
I
you
wrote
get?
a song for him called Pablo's Song. I wrote it a long, long time ago. I've written quite a few songs for my brother or in his name or to honor him or remember him. And I sang that at his memorial. It really was kind of asking and beseeching the heavens to explain to me why he had to go when he did, because he went too soon. But I feel like losing my brother as young as I did, or as young as he was, and in the way that he left, it changed everything for me. He is no longer here with me in body, but he is absolutely a fundamental part of
Yes.
my life and my driving force, and the awareness that his life was cut short, and I'm still here. And while I'm here, I do feel his encouragement and his love and his support. And, he used to say certain things to me while he was here that I didn't understand at the time, but I understand them now. And it took a long time for some of those seeds to be to take form, and about how I was as a person. And one of the things you said a few minutes ago about you wouldn't want to do it unless you were doing it the way you're doing it.
Yes.
I'm a very stubborn woman, and I have stayed true to myself, to my advantage and to my detriment,
Mm,
because I don't really feel I've ever had the option. I'm not a chameleon. I
me
don't change
neither.
with the times.
I
I
don't
don't
either.
change with the weather, the fashions. I don't
Nope.
change because somebody wants me to.
Nope.
I am steadfastly this, whatever this is. It doesn't want to change. It's not interested in changing.
Nope.
It's interested in evolving and growing and becoming its fullest expression of itself, but it is not interested in compromising. I'm not a conformist. It's just my nature. I do think some people more comfortably, mm, shift and become something to fit in. I'm not a fitter inner. I never was. I don't think I ever will. It's not, hasn't happened so far, and we're pretty far down the line. So I don't think it's going to happen now.
And Jenna, and that's what I really, I think with you, why I connect so much with you, because you've stayed true to that. And it's the same thing with me. I would rather stay in my truth and be who I am, because if I give up what I'm doing and the way I'm doing it and who I am, then what was the point anyway? Right?
Right.
I want to help people with this, and I want to bring God and love and faith. We're so afraid to talk about this anymore, too. It's become taboo. And this is what guides us. This is a reason we exist. This is a reason that we are. And I will never deny that. I will never turn my back on that. And the people that come to me actually love it. They thank me at the end and they'll
Of
say, just
course.
like what you said, I was afraid at first because I didn't know. I was scared of this. Then I come in and I see statues of Jesus and the Blessed Mother, and and people tell me that you have a faith. And it's not that I want to bring people to it. I never make someone feel bad. I don't also like when people use religion to put people down, like where
Yeah.
they'll use it to condemn or to make you feel bad. It's always about lifting someone up. It's about making someone feel better and saying, hey, it's okay. You can do this. We make mistakes, you know what I mean? But it's about moving forward. It's about loving people. It's not about judgment. So that's why I love the way you are too. I'm too old to change now.
Yeah,
I'm
me
too
too.
old.
Those days are way, way gone.
Way gone.
But I also think, considering that we are kind of OG, we've been around for a while,
Yes.
if there's an example that you and I do and can set, it would be that the gratification, the satisfaction, it comes from being true to yourself. It doesn't come from how many hits or likes or numbers. It
Nope.
doesn't come from anything really outside. It comes from that connection to your inner voice and to God or spirit or whatever you
Yes.
want to call it.
Yes.
That's where I feel accomplished in that. I don't feel accomplished in other ways, but I do feel accomplished in my steadfast dedication to being true to who I am. And I've gotten much feistier as I've gotten older. I'll fight for what I believe in ways that I don't think I could when I was younger. I didn't have the strength, I didn't have the courage, I didn't have the confidence to
Yes.
say, this is how I want it, or this
Yeah.
is how it needs to be, because this is how it came to me, or this is how I feel it. And even if it turns out to be wrong, I would rather be myself and wrong than somebody else and right.
It's so true. I've had people, even with this internet world and the fast pace, and everybody bases everything about, how much people like something, or people will say, you need to start doing this more. And I keep saying, no, the divine's getting me to where I need to be, how I need to be there. And I'm
Yes.
not going to change, and I want to reach the people that need it.
Yes. And you will.
This is not something that I feel like you can make a mockery of, right? This is something you have to honor and you respect and you cherish it. And the people that need to be healed and are listening to people like us, they're receiving it. God's finding a way, the divine's finding a way to have them to listen. And it's about saying to people, my gosh, you know what? Just get up, say something nice to yourself. You spend so much time with yourself. The first conversation you have every morning is with you. Let it be something that's beautiful. Tell yourself something like, I can do this. You know what? Today is going to be a good day. I'm going to work on one thing and take one thing and be proud of it. I always say, if you get up and make your bed, you've always accomplished something already. You've already done something.
Yeah, my mom actually always told me that. Make your
Did
bed
she say
first.
that? I've
Yeah.
always just believed that if you get up and do one thing, you can
Yeah.
look back and say, I did one thing. And then tomorrow,
Yes.
maybe it's two for the people that are struggling.
Life only happens one thing at a time. I
Oh, it
mean, you
does.
can have a lot of things going on,
Yeah.
but you still have to put one foot in front of the other. You
Yes.
still have to take one step at a time. I mean, I'm easily overwhelmed. I'd be the first to say that yeah, I do get overwhelmed. But I know also that it is about just doing the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and wherever it leads, it leads.
I think that's part of the human experience, though, Jenna. I think we all do. It doesn't matter. We're still human, no matter what gifts we have here. We're still physical beings. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So we're still going to feel that. You can't help it, right? But it's about knowing how to get yourself back to that place, about
Yes.
saying, okay, I'm going to take that deep breath and I'm going to connect that I know. And I'll reach out to my guardian angels and I'll just say, please help me, bring me back, and help me to find that peace. And it's about knowing where to go, knowing where to take what it is that you're going through. When we keep
Yeah.
asking people and things, I always say eventually you'll get let down, because
Yes.
people still have their own energies, right? People and things
Yes.
only last so long. You're not going to find happiness in those. While you're buying something, you're thinking about the next thing you want to buy.
Yes,
People will help you, but then eventually they're going to move on. So you have to have something greater that they never leave you. The Divine's open 24 hours a day. You don't need an appointment.
I love that.
And they do answer.
That's so wonderful. And I completely agree with you. I feel that it's a very lonely life if you
Yes.
don't have faith, and a faith in something greater than yourself.
Yes. And that's all it is.
It's very simple.
It is.
It really is very simple. And we do have there are a lot of people who are lonelier than they need to be,
Yes.
because if they could feel the presence of something greater. I mean, I have in some ways more faith in what I can't see than what I
Oh,
can see, because
100%.
I just consider life itself is miraculous. It defies, kind of any logical explanation. Here we are, living, breathing, loving, dying. Who's
Yes.
in control? I don't know who made all this happen. You can have all your theories, but regardless of what your theory might be and where you think, life's origin is, you cannot explain away the fact that it is a
You
miracle.
can't.
And I completely agree with you what you said about, one of the things I became aware of in losing people and in being present with people dying right in front of me
Yes.
is that this physical body is without the animation of the spirit, without that thing that dwells within us, that is temporarily taking, we're like marionettes. It's moving
Yes.
everything around. It's breathing us, it's warming us, it's cooling us, it's doing all those things, those biological things, but it doesn't need this to
No.
live. And
No.
when this machine is no longer necessary, it leaves. But I believe it carries on. I know some people think that's a crazy thought, but to me, I have no doubt. I mean, having had all kinds of interesting experiences from the time I was young, I do not ever doubt the existence of the spirit. That's the only thing I don't doubt. All the stuff that's happening down here, I'm questioning and wondering, is
Yes.
this good enough? Is that good enough? But that I know is real. So, it's kind of the reverse of how some people think. They think this is real and they're not so sure about that.
And I'm with you 100% on that with the experiences I've had since I was a little girl and what I've seen. And I always say the parts of heaven that's God's allowed me to see. You can't see and know everything when you're here, but you see enough. And when I've had these experiences, I was little. I know that there's so much more, but it's about you still have to live this life here. So it's about incorporating heaven and
Yes,
earth together. It's
that's
about
right.
bringing that part of it here and trying to help those that are struggling to let them see maybe a little bit to give them hope. But you can't explain. You can explain a baby how it's born, but still the miracle of the whole process of it, it's beyond our realm. Scientifically, yes, you can explain it, but it is one of the greatest miracles that
Yes.
ever is, was, or will be. So you have to understand, and what has created is something that loves us, right? It's only about they love us. They do this because they love us. So how can you be afraid, or not want something that loves you unconditionally, no matter what you do, look like, say, that they love you? And I just think that's such a great place to be. And like these conversations is what I want it to be. This is about for everyone, right? This isn't about judging any group or separating a group. This is saying, my God, it doesn't matter who you are, what faith you are, what religion you are. It never matters to me. It's
Yeah.
all about love. It's about why we're here, about trying to figure this out and help each other. And Jenna, honestly, your light is so beautiful. Feel so blessed. I know it was divinely done, and I always thank Katrina for introducing us. It
Oh,
was
I
so divinely
thank you,
done.
Katrina.
I know. Thank you, Katrina. And we love her anyway. But
Yes.
I mean, I am so blessed to have known you because I feel like a spiritual connection with you, right? It's just, that when you've known somebody from before or you were supposed to meet them, that this was part of the journey. And I would love, honestly, with you, continue this conversation sometime and just in a couple months have you come back. And I would love to even have you sometime if you even want to sing some of your new song when it comes out. I would love for people. I would really, honestly, I would love that. I want to spread even the love through that, right? It's not one person can't do all of this. It takes everyone to spread it. And what you're doing is amazing. And I do want to put up all your information on your website, your album. Before this goes up, this will all be there. And Jenna, I thank you for
Thank you.
honestly being so open and talking about something that is going to help so many people. And it just was such a beautiful conversation with you. And it's who you are.
It's a
I just
pleasure.
think you're so special. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing this.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.